This is ABC15 Mornings.
Arizona is now among the top 20 states in vaccinations, the new sign of hope as we continue to make major strides in the vaccine rollout.
And lawmakers are running out of time to get Americans help. Coming up, we have the latest on the Democrats' COVID relief plan.
And an update on the state of education, why the CDC is now saying that schools can open no matter what.
We want to say good morning to you. It is 6 o'clock now on your Saturday morning. Welcome to your weekend. I'm Megan Thompson, hanging out with Mark Thompson this morning.
Yes, Thompson and Thompson got it rolling this morning. Good morning, everyone. But Megan, I have to say, I was all prepared to fly my remote control airplanes today. I got the batteries charged, the bag all packed up, and then you tell me that it's going to be windy out, and that is going to have the fleet grounded
I am
today.
so sorry to ruin your plans today, Mark, but I'm glad I told you now before you went out and did all that and crashed your beautiful plane. We don't want that happening. So this is something you're going to want to keep in mind. What Mark is talking about, we all will be dealing with today. It's these wind speeds that'll be whipping later on this afternoon. Right now, we're cool at 49 degrees at this hour, humidity about 33%, the dew point 21. Winds are already starting to pick up just a little bit from the east at 8 miles per hour right now. But today, here's what we can expect. In the valley, winds from the west will start with sustained winds between 15 and 20 miles per hour, gusts up to 30 miles per hour. Then in northern Arizona and western Arizona from the southwest, sustained winds 20 to 30 miles per hour, and then gusts up to 40 to 50 miles per hour. As for forecasted highs today, it will be a beautiful day. Just those winds you have to keep be aware of. Payson 55 degrees for forecast high today, 54 in Cholo, 59 degrees in Kingman, Prescott 56 for you, 73 in Lake Havasu City, 57 in Page, and 77 degrees. That is our forecasted high here in the valley. It is above average for this time of year. So we're going to break down why we're having this wind speeds really whipping around with this disturbance to our north, how long it's sticking around. More ahead in that full forecast.
All right, Megan, thank you. Now to the vaccine rollout. Thousands of Pfizer doses finally arriving in our state after being delayed because of all of that severe weather we've been seeing nationwide. But we're now learning that shipments of the Moderna vaccine destined for rural Arizona communities may not arrive until next week. The delay postponing 4,000 appointments in Yavapai County alone.
Now they're talking that they may lump them together with this week's order, and they'll get here Tuesday or Wednesday of next week.
89,000 doses of the Moderna vaccine destined for our state remain left behind at this hour. A vaccination event in Coconino County already canceled for Monday. Well, today, FedEx, it will make Saturday deliveries of the vaccine to some U.S. sites. The harsh winter weather in parts of the country has delayed shipments of the vaccine doses through this week. Now, carriers like FedEx and others, they have been unable to complete a lot of those deliveries. In a statement, the company says due to the weather disruptions at its main hub in Memphis, it is now leaning on other hubs to get those vaccination shipments out.
But through it all, Arizona now among some of the top states for rolling out the vaccine. And it's not the only encouraging sign. ABC 15's Nicole Valdez breaking down the numbers for us.
We've seen our share of problems, obstacles, and complaints as Arizona continues to try and vaccinate as many as possible and put an end to the COVID-19 pandemic. But data analysts like our own Garrett Archer are feeling encouraged.
Arizona's doing very well and has definitely improved.
As of Friday night, Arizona ranking 17th in vaccination rates nationwide compared to just weeks ago. On February 4th, Arizona was only 32nd in the U.S.
Right now, about 14% of Arizonans have received at least one dose.
A big contributor, vaccination efforts on the Navajo Nation. More than 100,000 doses already administered to those living on tribal lands. 23,000 residents already fully vaccinated, and the other 77,000 have at least gotten their first shot.
Hopefully, people continue to get vaccinated. We get to that 70% herd immunity. Most experts believe it's 70%. You need to have 70% of the population in order for your state to start going back to some of the activities that you may not have been able to do. In Arizona, that would be things like, the Waste Management open and having bars open again and having things at full capacity.
But it's not just the number of vaccines that look promising.
You're looking at hospital metrics that are going back to where they were in October. And that was a low for COVID numbers in October.
All encouraging signs, but it'll still take work to keep moving forward and start to see a glimpse of normal.
When we're looking at these numbers, we're talking about 14% of the population that has received their first dose. When we talk about fully vaccinated, that number goes down pretty quickly. We're only at about 4% of our population who have been fully vaccinated. We've already done this for so long. If we just do this for the next couple of months, we'll probably be completely out of the woods or getting close to being completely out of the woods.
And Arizonans over the age of 65 now eligible to get their second shot at places like the newly opened vaccination pod here at the Phoenix Municipal Stadium. So that will add in more people to that fully vaccinated number. But experts are still watching out for things like the UK variant that could add in more hurdles to the battle here. Now, the vaccine as it is should keep you safe from the variant, even though it is more infectious. But the hope is that we will be able to vaccinate as many people as possible before that impacts Arizona. In Phoenix tonight, Nicole Valdez, ABC 15, Arizona.
Nicole, some hope this morning. Thank you. Now to the state of education. The director of the CDC saying schools can open no matter how much coronavirus is spreading in the community. A CNN analysis found about 90% of children live in so-called red zones under the CDC's guidance. Despite that, they say there are opportunities for in-person learning at all stages. The CDC says schools can reopen if they are mitigating the risk of COVID-19 with masks, 6 feet of social distance, frequent cleanings, testings, and contact tracing. All Blue Ridge schools in the White Mountain area sending pre-K through 12th grade back to in-person learning. Students will be back in class on Monday. Families who wish to stay online will still be provided access to distance learning for the rest of the year.
House Democrats, they're ready to move on a COVID-19 relief plan. A final bill could be passed by the full House within the upcoming week, and there is not a lot of time to get Americans help. More than 11 million people there are set to lose their unemployment benefits between mid-March and mid-April, but right now the Senate is evenly split between Democrats and Republicans.
We hope to have this all done by the end of February.
The rushed budget process that will play out this week is exactly the wrong path toward making law.
The $1.9 trillion stimulus includes the $15 an hour minimum wage. Americans making $75,000 or less a year would get a one-time direct payment of $1,400. The Biden COVID-19 relief package also includes more money for small businesses struggling during the pandemic.
6:08 now, and we're just over a week away from the start of baseball games. And just a reminder that tickets to D-back spring training go on sale today. You can find our comprehensive guide to spring training on ABC15.com.
And the Copa Music Festival, it's happening today at the Copper Sky Recreation Complex. You can also enjoy the performances through a live stream. Tickets start at $20. Face masks will be required.
And it's going to be a blustery day outside today, so keep that in mind. Let's take a look at the temperatures at this hour. If you're going to step outside in Wickenburg, 37 degrees for you, 42 to the north in Anthem, 46 in Cave Creek, 43 degrees in the West Valley there in Glendale, 45 in Scottsdale, 37 degrees at this hour in Chandler, and Santan Valley, you're checking in at 44 degrees. Here's your valley planner. So here's what you can expect throughout the day if you do have any outdoor plans. By 8 a.m. we'll still be in the 40s, a chilly start to the day at 49 degrees. By noon we'll warm into the upper 60s, 68 degrees and cool. Then by 4 p.m. we'll continue to warm from that point, 76 degrees. Winds will definitely be picking up by then. 8 p.m. those winds were sticking around, clearing out those skies, 66 degrees, and then we'll continue to drop from there into the 40s for your overnight low. So some winds to talk about today, more on Futurecast and why this is happening with a disturbance to our north coming up in your full forecast.
All right, we're coming up 10 past the hour of 6 o'clock. Still ahead, forgiving student loan debt, why some say that it may not help those who need it the most. And as we get ready for spring training, how MLB is finally recognizing Negro League baseball players who have lived in the shadows of history until now.
Thanks for watching ABC15 Arizona, streaming 24/7 on Roku and these streaming devices.
Well, good morning and happy Saturday to you. You made it to the weekend. I'm Megan Thompson, tracking your most accurate forecast. I do want to let you know about a wind advisory that will take effect later on this morning through northern Arizona. So your southwest winds about 20 to 30 miles per hour sustained, gusts up to 40 to 50 miles per hour in those areas. So you're going to want to secure any loose objects. And here's why this is happening. I want to walk you through Futurecast. This is this morning. Let me move this forward into early this evening. This is around 5 p.m. tonight. You see in northern Arizona, we do have a spot, just some spotty showers of snow and rain potentially to our north. Really not anything to write home about. But what that disturbance is bringing to our north is those wind speeds. They will eventually die off into the overnight hours, and tomorrow we're going to be relatively calm. But we are watching another low pressure system moving in early Thursday morning. So late Wednesday night into Thursday morning, bringing potentially some more chances for rain and snow to northeastern Arizona. Those winds will pick up again across the state, so keep that in mind. And here's what we can expect for those wind speeds. Around 11 a.m. this morning, 20 miles per hour in Flagstaff, 29 miles per hour there in Kingman, 15 miles per hour in Heber. And then our Futurecast winds here in the valley about 12 miles per hour this afternoon, and it'll whip up to 20 miles per hour later on this evening. So the whole state really lights up later on this afternoon around 2 or 3 o'clock. And around Arizona, here's what you can expect for forecasted highs. Flagstaff, 49 degrees for you with mostly sunny skies. Those gusts up to 50 miles per hour. Sedona, 61 for you. Gusts up to 35 miles per hour in Show Low, 54 degrees. Also gusts up to 50 miles per hour. Here in the valley, here are current temperatures at this hour. 49 degrees in Phoenix, 46 degrees in Mesa, 45 in Glendale, and 44 degrees in Goodyear. For your valley planner, we'll stay in the 40s through 7 a.m. Then by 9 a.m., we'll get into the 50s, 64 degrees right around 11 a.m. And then the 70s come our way around 1 p.m. We had a forecasted high of 77 degrees around 3 p.m. And this is above average for this time of year, about 5 degrees. 72 is what we should be feeling. It's nothing crazy, but every time we get closer to those 80s, I get a little nervous. So I want to warn you about that. Here is that 7-day forecast, and we do have the 80s in that 7-day for a forecasted high. So winds, the big story today, something you need to keep in mind for your outdoor plans. Then tomorrow our temperatures drop off back into the normal range for this time of year. Then by your work week again, we repeat what we're doing today on Monday, back up to 77 degrees, and then those 80s come our way on Tuesday. Temperatures start to drop off again on Wednesday, and with that disturbance moving in, that second one that we are tracking for you, those breezes will come back into play. 78 degrees. Our lows in the upper 40s and 50s. Thursday and Friday, temperatures drop back down more into that normal range. 72 degrees Thursday, 74 degrees on Friday, Mark.
Thank you, Megan. Actually looking forward to those 80s coming up. All right. Switching gears a little bit here, the average student loan debt in the country right now, get this, is around $30,000. And 1 in 10 student loans right now, 1 in 10 I should say, is currently in default. But should student loan debts be forgiven with just one stroke of a pen? It's a major debate right now. And our Joe St. George, he's got more on this very hot topic.
College and education, a place where you learn and grow, but you also accumulate debt.
I don't know how much foresight an 18-year-old has.
Meet Renee Nicole Allen. Her student debt profile, a bachelor's degree from Mercer University in 2005, a law degree from the University of Florida in 2009. Her student debt number at its peak, $385,000.
Right now I'm at about $265. I don't know, that doesn't feel any better, actually.
But should the federal government forgive student debt for people like Renee? It's a debate happening in our nation's capital.
All you need is the flick of a pen.
Senate Democratic leader Chuck Schumer wants President Biden to forgive $50,000 in debt through an executive order.
I will not make that happen.
In a town hall Tuesday, though, the president rejected that number, but his White House has signaled he might forgive a lower amount. Biden press secretary Jen Psaki tweeting, "Our team is reviewing whether there are any steps he can take through executive action." It's still very much unclear if the president will actually act on this, or perhaps it's all political theater. Democrats argue canceling debt is legal because it's debt technically managed by the federal government, and that it's been done before. For instance, former President Trump canceled debt for permanently disabled veterans.
We should not forgive all the student debt that's out there.
But Sandy Baum, a senior fellow at the Urban Institute, says President Biden should think carefully before he acts.
People who borrow a lot of money are typically people who went to college for a long time. Many of them have graduate degrees, and those people tend to have relatively high income.
Baum's research says helping those in the upper middle class won't help lower income earners who are in the most economic need right now, many of whom have no college debt because they didn't go. She also says there are plenty of struggling Americans who prioritized paying off their debt already, who may feel slighted.
How would you feel if you just finished paying off your loans and then they said, oh, those people who didn't pay them, we're going to forgive them?
As for Renee, she, like millions of Americans, is in wait-and-see mode. Since she plans on continuing to work in public service by teaching at St. John's University, she hopes her debt is forgiven in a decade because of current laws. But she says nothing in life is guaranteed, which is why any forgiveness would help.
If anything happens to me, I guess I default.
In Washington, I'm Joe St. George.
How far would you go to avoid having to go to work? Coming up, the bizarre story of an Arizona teen who faked his own kidnapping. That's one you don't want to miss. And you're running out of time to buy Girl Scout cookies. How to find your favorite cookies from your local troop. It's coming up.
So if you needed another reason to indulge perhaps in some Girl Scout cookies, well, I'm going to give you a bunch more reasons this morning to do so, because did you know that your cravings for Thin Mints or Do-si-dos, my personal favorite, actually help amazing programs right here in our community that benefits all of us. So joining us now to talk about it is Heather Thornton from the Arizona Cactus Pine Girl Scouts. She represents them. And we also have Hope Belfi, who has been selling some cookies for years now, to tell us about how her experience has been. So Heather, I want to start with you. What has it been like transitioning the Girl Scouts more to a virtual platform? How have you guys been doing?
Yeah, it's been interesting. We've had digital cookie for several years now. So luckily we've had an online way for girls to sell cookies and also learn skills while doing that. But with all of the, flux of COVID-19, just being able to plan for every scenario has been challenging. We didn't know, nobody knew how to predict the future. So it was kind of having multiple scenarios in mind, because we decided that we wanted to make the cookie program possible. Like, customers look forward to it, but so do the girls. It's a very huge part of Girl Scouting. It's what most girls think about when they want to be a Girl Scout. It's very social. It's one of our biggest ways to earn skills in a short amount of time. So the girls look forward to it, and we wanted to provide a sense of normalcy. So girls decided, some girls are selling online only, and some girls are doing in person and online, just depending on their comfortability. But overall, we've seen the Arizona community has been really supportive, and we've reached our goals so far from what we can tell and project. That's nearly 2 million boxes of cookies. So even though it's down from years past, that is amazing to have that much volume during a 6-week program.
Yeah, you guys should be very, very proud of that.
Yeah.
And you mentioned too, the fact that this really goes right into the community. Can you tell me a little bit about how the money that we're putting into those cookies actually benefits our community?
Yes, so every box of cookies sold in our council, which covers Central and Northern Arizona, all the proceeds from that stay right in our council, and they support. Girls receive proceeds directly, the troops and the neighborhoods receive proceeds, but then our council receives proceeds, and we support our summer camps and programming for all girls. We provide financial assistance to make Girl Scouting possible. And then something that girls do, they're funding all of their different skill building experiences and their service projects. Most girls, especially last year, our cookie sale ended right before COVID hit. So girls had all of these plans and then they couldn't do them. And most of the troops redirected all or a big portion of their funds into service projects that supported the community around COVID-19. So girls are constantly serving the community with what they earn from cookie sales.
And Hope, I want to talk to you a little bit about your experience. How has it been selling cookies this year?
Well, it's been very good. Our troop has been working pretty good with what we can do because of COVID and all that. We're not doing in person this year, but we are doing contactless sales.
How does it feel for you to be able to contribute to your own community? I know you're in the East Valley. What's it like to know that this money that you're raising is helping your community?
This year, with the money, we're doing a food drive because a lot of people need to eat. It makes me feel really happy to help other people out.
Well, we thank you, Hope, for what you are doing, and Heather as well. Where should we direct people? I know the deadline is coming up to get your cookies. So when's that deadline, and where should people go to get their hands on some?
Yeah, girls are selling just until February 28th, and then gscookiefinder.com. You can find the booths in your zip code that we do have, but also it links you to websites that you can buy from troops in your area.
Hope and Heather, thank you so much for joining us this morning. And we'll be sure to put all that information on ABC15.com.
And Hope living up to her name. Great info, guys. Thank you so much. 6:26 now on your Saturday morning. In honor of Black History Month, the local bookstore that's celebrating Arizona's Black excellence today, and they're having some fun while doing it. Plus,
it restored our faith in God. It restored our faith in humanity.
A Valley family left with a new sense of hope after an unexpected act of kindness from a local business. A very emotional story headed your way.